Welcome back to Who Watches Us, the movie podcast where we watch the movies, but who watches us? I'm your host, Brendan, joined by my brother, Alex. And Alex, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing real good.
Doing well?
Just watched a movie.
I sure did. We just watched A Bronx Tale. This movie is written by Chaz Palminteri and directed by Robert De Niro, which is pretty cool. And it also stars Robert De Niro and Chaz Palminteri. And there's a little bit of a cool little bit of lore around this movie that I didn't know going in, but we were looking at the IMDb afterwards. And what did we learn, Alex?
We learned that this is actually an biographical. This is an autobiographical tale about Chaz Palminteri's life as a youngster. This is actually based off something that he went through when he was a kid.
Yeah, based on things that happened to him. Yeah. We should probably give our quick little spoiler warning as well. We haven't done that yet. We're gonna go deep into the plot of this movie. So you've been warned if you want to watch this movie. And I think if you haven't seen this movie, just go watch this movie and then...
watch this movie and come back because you don't want to get spoiled for this movie.
Yeah, or if you're a psycho, listen to the podcast and then watch the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
Honestly, don't do that. Just come back to it.
Yeah.
So I guess by that, you can probably tell what we thought of the movie.
Yeah, we liked the movie.
I liked the movie a lot. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice.
You've been pretty keen to get into the meat and potatoes of the plot. So why don't you kick us off? I should probably mention Lilo Brancato is also starring in this movie. I forgot to mention him before because I was starstruck by Robert De Niro and Chaz Palminteri.
Is that C? Colleggio?
Yeah, that's C.
Okay. Alright, so we get a nice opening shot of like the Bronx is Brooklyn, right? It's like the Brooklyn skyline.
I don't know. I just... Alright, before we upset some people, I'm just going to Google where the Bronx is.
Pretty sure it's in New York, right? Brooklyn?
The Bronx is a borough of New York City. It is known for Yankee Stadium, the home field of New York Yankees baseball team. That's all I can see here. So maybe the Bronx is its own thing.
Okay, well... We get this opening shot of the New York City skyline. There's like some nice harmonizing, some doo-wop kind of stuff.
There's a lot of doo-wop.
We get the actor of C who narrates throughout the movie, kind of like Wise Guy style, you know. He fills in the gaps, does the narration. He's reminiscing about his time as a youth. He's going over, you know, the simpler times. He's talking about Mickey Mantle, the Shea Bippy, which is where the guys hang out. A couple of wise guys hang out there. He's talking about Doo-Wop, where he used to live, 667 East 187th Street. For anyone who cares about the details. You know, he's talking about Italian men romancing their women. You get an Italian guy yelling at his girlfriend, "Get in the car!
Get in the fucking car!
Get in the fucking car! Just get in!"
Romance. Italian American romance.
To be young again.
Yeah. This movie starts off very Goodfellas. Which, you know, in retrospect now, knowing that Chaz, the guy that plays Sonny and wrote the movie, was like a huge De Niro and Martin Scorsese fan. Like, it makes sense why it started off so Goodfellas.
Yeah, it does. I'm kind of blanking a little bit. So I think you get the crew pulls up in a car. The couple wise guys pull up, Sonny and his gang, who
Mm-hmm.
are like kind of like, I don't know, how do you even explain it? They're like not even the antagonists in this film. This
No,
It's so
I'll,
hard to explain their role. They're just kind of there. Sonny is like a
yeah,
father figure to
yeah.
Caligula.
It's sort of like a setting for the characters, and they're not necessarily the antagonists. They do bad things, and they're objectively bad people because they murder other people and there's violent crime and stuff. But like subjectively, like if you know them and if you're good to them, they're like very respectful people, like yeah, classic sort of like mobster
Yeah,
um, stuff. And this is in the 1960s as well
yeah.
when we start the movie. And this little kid Caligero, which we'll shorten to C because that's a nickname that he gets later on in the movie. He sort of like,
Like idolizes them.
yeah, he idolizes Sonny, like who's like the head of the sort of mobster crew in this area.
In his neighborhood. So like, it's really, there's a lot of like setting the tone, setting the just the giving a lot of context for the setting in general. Like there's kids or there's guys shining shoes. They're playing baseball in the street. They're hanging out.
Mm.
They're doing deals. You know, you see them handing each other cash, throwing fireworks. They're playing goofy games because they must be fucking bored because it's the 1960s. Like there was a stack of guys just jumping on each other.
Yeah.
But not in the way you'd expect. Like they're not stacks on. They're like made like a long line, and then they were jumping on top of each other.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was like
even.
it's very hard to describe. I'll put a screenshot up. But yeah, but it looks like some shit you do with your friends when you just got nothing else to do. Just absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, honestly, this is
Yeah.
one thing that I want to note here because there's a lot of opening shots, not a whole lot happening, just some
Yeah.
establishing.
It's
This
just a
movie has a
it's a
great
base of
soundtrack.
what's that, sorry?
This movie has a great soundtrack. I love the soundtrack to this movie.
Yeah, the
Just like,
soundtrack is really good.
yeah, just like I love the soundtrack to like Goodfellas and stuff like that. Good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just like that type of music, but it's
Yeah.
good. It just works so well.
Yeah. So after this like sort of Italian American montage of the 1960s, yeah, we're introduced to C, to Sonny, and then C's dad, who's played by Robert De Niro, and we later learn that his name is Lorenzo. But he's like sort of like your working class sort of guy. He drives a bus, and there's some like neighborhood kids that are a bit cheeky, and they like jump on the bus and play hooky and that sort of thing. And C and Lorenzo, they have like a pretty strong and a good relationship. Like they hang out with each other all the time, and he hangs out on the bus and spends a lot of time with his dad, and they go to baseball games together, and they both fucking love baseball.
Yeah, they love the Yankees.
Yeah. And they're a little bit they're like a religious family as well. Like every time they go past a church, they do like the cross.
Is that a Hail Mary? Is that what they call it?
I don't know what it's called.
You know, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. You touch your head, your chest, and your
Yeah.
lips. Or I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I'm not. They're Catholic. If that gives you any. They're Catholic.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes. He's riding the bus with his dad, and he goes to drop him off. And then you get introduced to the mum. Her name's Rosina. You don't really see her a lot. She's in the movie, like a decent amount, but she's not in it a whole lot. It's more about C.
Yeah.
Anyways, the kid's supposed to go straight inside, go to the house, but he goes into like I assume it's like the underneath of the apartment, kind of like a basement. And he's like snooping and sneaking around, and he goes to the Shea Bippy because he just wants to observe. He wants to be like the guys.
Yeah, and I think like Lorenzo is pretty aware of this as well, because like when he drops off his son from the bus, and he's like, all right, we'll go straight inside, because C, like as soon as he gets off the bus, he always tries to give like the little bit of a side eye to Sonny, because he wants Sonny to to notice him, because he's got like this real sort of influence and charisma about him. Like everyone knows Sonny. Everyone like wants to be friends with Sonny. That sort of thing.
He's him. He's basically the guy in C's neighborhood. So yeah, he sneaks off to the bar to just like observe, I guess, and as we get introduced to a lot of Sonny's crews.
Yeah.
Sonny's crew, and God, the naming conventions of 1960s mobsters is just immaculate.
This was the Goodfellas part.
So what do you got? You got Jojo the whale, because he's a big fucking fat guy. He's just really big and fat. And you've got Coffee Cake because his face looks like a coffee cake. He's got like burns or something. I don't know what it is, but his face is all messed up. You got Jimmy Whispers because apparently everything is a secret. Who else was there? There's a couple other guys.
It's basically like it just keeps going like, this is this guy's name and he's called this because blank.
Yeah.
And
much.
like it just feels like a parody of the Goodfellas, like Jimmy Two Times character. I thought it was a little bit comical and
honestly, it was so funny when he said Jojo the way. I kind of laughed it.
Yeah. I was sort of a little bit iffy at this point. I'm like, is this gonna be like just another like a romance of Goodfellas or like mobster movies, or is this gonna start to get into, you know, like something pretty decent? Like I don't want to watch Goodfellas 2.0. That's just like a little bit underdone. So I was like a little bit wary at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't have that thought. That never actually occurred to me, but that's totally, now that I think about it, that's a totally fair thing to be worried about with this movie. You might think that going in, but it definitely is its own thing and stands out, I think.
Yeah.
But C gets caught by his mum because obviously he didn't rock up. She saw him come home. He's just didn't come inside. So she's like, "Where the fuck is my kid?" Comes by the bar. She drops a little bit of lore, and she's like, "Yeah, how many times?" They say that he's been there before, right? He keeps sneaking off to go to the bar. They're like, "Don't fucking do that. Stop that."
Yeah.
And then, I think you get a little bit of a time jump. Not like a huge one, just later that day. The dad's home. They're having dinner. They're just having... The dad's so funny in this moment. I didn't write it down. Do you have it? They were having a bit of banter.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Damn. Well, you have to watch the movie for that good banter, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Basically, the mum's like, get the telling the kid off. And the kid's kind of giving... The kid's like, kind of giving the mum guff.
Yeah, and he's like, I took a shot. I went for it. That's like, yeah, well, he took a shot. He went for it.
he took a shot. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's like basically, the dad's like, yeah, don't go to the bar. And then it's the next day, I think, and he's hanging out with his mates, Slick and Crazy Mario. You want to know how they got their names?
Yeah.
Slick has slicked back hair and Crazy Mario is fucking crazy. And they basically just like to bust this old guy's balls because he's old and they fucking bully him.
There's like this old guy that sort of has this cart full of like veggies and fruit, and his friends like get in his face and distract him a bunch while he sort of like sneaks off to the side and tries to like grab some tomatoes or whatever, of basically just busting balls, just having a good time.
Oh shit, I did forget to say one thing. Like when he gets caught by the mum's got to go to the shop. That's right. She got to grab some things, and then he sees Sonny while he's like standing outside the shop where his mum tells him to wait, and he's like imitating Sonny, which is like that's probably something worth mentioning. I did forget about that.
I wrote a note for this part as well. I wrote, this kid has an unhealthy obsession with the mob.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Forget about it.
But yeah, C's hanging out with his little
Dickhead mates.
Yeah, just everyone's got
suck.
those friends at one point. Just
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit friends that you hang out with.
They're just dickhead kids.
Yeah, but they're all sort of obsessed with the mob, right? And
Yeah.
they play a bit of mobster charades, where they like imitate the different mobsters, and they're like, "Oh, who am I?"
Yeah, he's like, at one point, he's like, tells him to do coffee cake. He's like, I can't do that. He's hard. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't make my face all fucked up like his.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then the kid. Then there's like a couple African American fellas coming through the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're on a bus.
The 60s. This is the 60s, so obviously they're racist, and the kid just drops the N-word. He just calls him a slur.
He sure does.
And then, yeah, they all get a little racist, and they start chasing the bus and throwing the tomatoes at the bus. And then the dad kind of catches, so Lorenzo catches C. He's like, wait, tells him to stay on the stoop. He's not allowed to leave the stoop if he wants to be outside.
Yeah, sort of just alludes to a little bit of a sort of, not race war, but just like tension between races and like in certain neighborhoods as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Later on in the movie, C goes to like a black neighborhood, and yeah, it's like he just gets a lot of I wouldn't say he gets harassed, but I think if he stuck around a little bit longer, he would.
Yeah, for sure. They kind of got that same dichotomy where they don't like each other in each other's neighborhoods.
Yeah.
This is where shit kind of kicks off.
Yeah.
This movie just fucking gets dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
So basically, C goes to stand back on the stoop. He's just hanging there. And then these two cars almost like hit each other. And then a guy with a bat gets out and just starts fucking wailing. Fuck, sorry. I couldn't hold it in. I was trying to talk through it. Fuck, I'm ruining the moment. Hold on. So the guy with the bat gets out and just fucking starts wailing on the other guy's car, slamming him with the bat. And then Sonny just fucking shoots the guy. Shoots him twice. Initially, he shoots him in like the shoulder and then the head, and he walks up to him and puts like another 2 rounds in him.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they're like, Sonny and the crew are trying to duck out of there. And fucking, for the first time, Sonny looks and sees Caligero,
yeah.
Caligero, yeah. I was going to say C, but I'm like, I can't do that.
C, yeah. I had that in my notes a couple times as well.
Me too.
I wrote C sees this. I'm like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. So basically,
a bit of road rage turns into a homicide. Sonny looks over at C, and C finally feels like he's
seen.
He's seen. It's been noticed.
Yeah.
And then Lorenzo comes out and scoops him up, and he's like, "Get the fuck inside! Get inside right now!"
Yeah.
Takes him upstairs, and then a little bit later on, some police come up to the door, and they want to chat to C because they know he's like witnessed everything that happened, and Daddy ain't no snitch. Like, Lorenzo is like, he doesn't know anything. Like, he's fine. Like, he didn't see anything.
Yeah, Lorenzo knows how things work in this neighborhood. He's not about to, be the guy who fucking rats.
Yeah, and then C's like, yeah, but I know everything. I saw everything. He's like, oh, fuck. Okay. So, the police are like, oh, just bloody come outside for a bit. and like you have like a little bit of a, not like a walk of shame, but like they're walking down the street with the police, and like all the bystanders are like looking at C and Lorenzo, and they come up to this row of the mobsters that are got their hands up against the wall, and they just do like a police lineup in the middle of the street.
Mhm.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Why
they
would you
just
do
got
it
'em all
here? You don't want to
centered
go
there.
downtown?
And maybe it was some weird thing where they can't get them.
Yeah. So they go through each of the mobsters one by one, and the final mobster in the lineup is Sonny, and they're looking at each other, and the kid ain't no snitch. He's like, nah, sorry, that's not him. And the police think he's full of shit, but yeah,
Yeah,
Lorenzo's
what
like,
are
"Are
you
you
gonna
happy he
do?
doesn't know anything?" And they sort of walk off.
Yeah, like take a walk, get out of here,
Yeah.
you and your shithead son. Yeah.
But C's like, oh, I did a good thing. I didn't rat, because he saw like being a rat as like one of the worst things that you can be. And his dad's like, well, yeah, you did a good thing for a bad guy. Like you did the right thing given this situation. But you'll understand when you're a little bit older, like why it was a good thing, but why he's a bad guy.
Mm. Yeah, that's kind of a common theme in this movie. He's too young to understand, or at least his parents think he's too young to understand, or his dad. I mean, I guess everybody underestimates young people and be like, "You're too young to understand this," which, in all fairness, they probably don't understand the gravity of the situation. But that's kind of a major theme in this movie. No matter how old C is, he's always told that you'll understand when you're older.
Yeah.
So he doesn't snitch, and his dad's like, he kind of reiterates the point. He's like, you did a good thing for a bad guy. Come ride on the bus with me tomorrow. We'll just hang out. So they did. And they're talking about baseball, and they're listening to the dad's jazz, and they kind of have this good. His dad's giving him, I guess, like, he's not even giving him grief over it. It's like, it's just like the worst thing in the world is like wasted talent, wasted potential.
Yeah.
He tells him he can be anything he wants, but yeah.
Yeah, and like I think the voiceover here chimes in a couple times and says how much he like enjoys, like he used to enjoy like going out with his dad and talking about baseball and listening to jazz.
Yeah, it's like it's a little vacation. I think it was the certain route that they went. It's like a vacation. They go hang out, talk about baseball.
Yeah.
Fuck, listen to jazz.
Yeah.
Get ice cream. Sick. For a kid, if that's all you care about, that's fucking awesome.
And this kid is an encyclopedia of baseball stats.
Yeah, he fucking loves Mickey Mantle and the Yankees.
It's good with the numbers.
Mm.
Yeah, they have their day out, and they come home, and Sonny's like, oh, come over here. I want to talk to you. Because he like respects what the family did, and I think that the dad he's just dropping off the kid to go back inside, and Lorenzo's going to go back out and drive around and do some bus stuff. But some of the mob guys are like, oh no, we just want to talk to you, and they get on the bus, and they basically offer Lorenzo a job just to like to get in the game, and they're offering like $150 a week to just like pick up some stuff and move it from like point A to point B. And I think it was just papers. I wasn't sure the specifics, but Lorenzo's like, nah, I'm not into that. Like, sorry.
Yeah, he knows. He's seen it all before. He knows how this story goes. He says no. And the guy's like, Sonya's not going to be happy to hear that, but I'll tell him what you said. And then I think you cut to the kid, and he's at church. He's at a confession booth, and he's asking for forgiveness for he has sinned. And he's like, basically, I saw a murder, or I witnessed a murder, and what else did he say? Oh yeah, he ate meat on a Friday.
Yeah, he tries to like skip over the murder bit. He like talks really fast and tries to go to the meat thing, and the father is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's back it up a little bit.
What, I ate meat on a Friday? No, the thing before that. Yeah, he's like, oh yes, fucking witnessed a murder. He's like, oh, that's not good. Tell me what happened. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And they have like they go back. He says
They have like this really weird dialogue here that's like super unrealistic. Like it was a little bit like you wouldn't really hear this from a kid, and I mean maybe you did back then, but like, or maybe they're just showing off that he's got a bit of tood. But it just seemed like the dialogue was like super forced here. Like maybe it was just the kid acting here, but there was like a little bit of a gripe at this point.
I actually thought this scene was pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
like I liked what the kid said, but I do kind of agree that I don't think a kid would say that.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting exactly what he said, but it was pretty clever, I guess. He made a good point.
I looked up how much $150 is like inflation wise from 1960 to now. It's $1,600.
That's not bad. $1,600 a week just to give a guy a piece of paper.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Not bad.
Pretty good. No tax.
No tax. And you're getting good with the wise guys. But yeah, anyway, the kid's like, yeah, I love being Catholic. I fucking get to do like 5 Hail Marys and something, whatever, or the other for a murder rap. Not bad. So Sonny wants to see him, and then they get to talking, and he's just like talking like how he would to any other person. He's like, come here, sit down. He's like, I think he starts talking about baseball. Yeah,
they have like a little bit of a bonding moment over baseball because recently, like the Yankees lost, which, every time he went to baseball games with his dad, they always won. So he was disappointed.
Yeah, he's like, I hate this one guy. He made Mickey Mantle cry. He's like, Mickey Mantle makes $100K a year. Who cares? Nobody cares. Mickey Mantle doesn't care about you. He's saying all this to a kid. He basically makes fucking C hate the Yankees.
Yeah,
well, I guess not hate the Yankees, but he just like he
just changes the way he thinks about it from this point.
Yeah,
onwards.
he's like I never thought about the Yankees the same again after that day.
Yeah, $100,000 a year is $1 million a year with inflation.
That's honestly not that much for one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Yeah, like in terms of like American sports.
Yeah,
that's pretty nutty.
That is pretty nutty.
On the cheap side.
Back then, $1 million would get you so much. Anyways, getting sidetracked.
So the kid works at the bar now. He hangs out with Sonny. A lot more.
Jinx.
And Sonny sort of gets C into playing dice. Like he gets him to roll the dice for him because they play craps at the bar. And yeah, I think at this point they're just trying to stress like how big like gambling is in their sort of day-to-day life and making money, and not so much like drug peddling or like just other like illegal crime.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's like a bunch of guys standing around playing craps, and Sonny seems pretty like superstitious. Like, there's one guy that they call him. I think they call him Jinx. He basically just like
they call him Mush.
They call him what?
Mush.
Mush. Okay.
Yeah, because everything he touches turns to mush.
Right.
He basically fucking is a gambling addict who never wins anything ever. So he's like, I think he tries to put his money on top of Sonny's money. He's like, I don't want your money touching my money because you're a fucking jinx. Get out of here. Lock him in the bathroom. So he locks him in the. They fucking put him in the bathroom, and then fucking Jojo the whale is like breathing down his neck because he's behind him. He's a big fat sweaty guy. He's like, fucking put him in the bathroom because I don't want him breathing on me. He keeps doing it. And then fucking Coffee Cake was looking at the kid right before he's about to throw the dice. He's like, no, get him out of here. Don't look at the kid like that with your fucked up face. Get like a towel. Put it over the face. He's like, nah, forget the towel. Just put him in the bathroom. And this bathroom is like 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters. It's so
just
small.
full of 3 fully grown men.
It's so funny. He's treating them like little fucking kids, like they're in timeout.
Yeah.
Chucking them in the corner.
Yeah. And they have a huge dice montage after this. And the kid earns a little bit of bank. And Sonny's like, we got to change your name, dude. Because I can't be calling you Caligula all the time. Your name is C now. Everyone's going to start calling you C.
Yeah, I think he made 11 dice rolls in a row.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how much money I made Sonny that day, but it was a fucking lot of money. Yeah. So, yeah, he hands him like, I don't know what he hands him, like a 5, a 10, a 20, I don't know what he hands him, and the kid goes, that's it?
Not sure.
Yeah, and the kid goes, that's it, and he goes, alright, he hands him another one. He's like, yeah. And then because he starts hanging out with Sonny, he notices, it's a very noticeable change, everyone starts being nice to him, and people kind of respect him now. It's because of Sonny. So yeah, like the fruit guy, people say hello to him. The fruit guy gave him free fruit, like the guy who used to bust his bowls and steal from, just gives him fruit now. And then he goes upstairs, he's like, Mummy, I got some peaches. And then he sees his dad standing there and his mum looking real just not happy. And he goes to give the mum to his peaches. His dad grabs his arm. He's like, what's this? He's like, oh, I've been saving up. He's like, you've been saving $600? Fucking, what are you doing, brain surgery? He's like, no, I've been working for it. He's like, fucking don't lie to me. You fucking, like, what, 8 years old and you have more money than me? We're going and we're giving this back. I know where you got this. Oh, no. He tells him where he got it because he's like, I'm not going to get upset. He's like, I got it from working crap games. He's like, what? He's like, you said you wouldn't get upset. And he's like, I lied. We're going to give this money back.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the mum's kind of like, well, this is a lot of money. Maybe we should just hang on to this. He's like, no. Lorenzo has very firm principles. He does not want to take any money from Sonny whatsoever. And I guess he doesn't directly dislike Sonny. He just doesn't want to be a part of that lifestyle.
Yeah, just doesn't want to get involved.
Yeah, whatsoever.
Yeah. So they storm over to the bar, and Lorenzo goes in, and like the way he does everything, he's like pretty disrespectful about it. Like he takes the money and he throws it on the table, and he's like, I don't want this fucking money. I don't want my kid working here getting the money. And he's like, oh, I didn't give you the money. I gave it to the kid. He earned the money. It's like, I don't care. I don't want you to hang out with my kid anymore. Stop hanging out with my kid. But the way Lorenzo sort of goes about it, Sonny starts to get pretty upset. He's like, hey man, you're being pretty disrespectful. And Lorenzo's like, hey man, I don't care who you are. I know what you do. I show you respect all the time, but this is the one thing you're like wrong about. Like, stay away from my kid. And then fucking Sonny gives Lorenzo a bit of a slap.
Yeah. Does he slap him or does he just pretend like raise his
hand?
hand?
No. I got my notes mixed up. So like they storm off. And Lorenzo starts arguing with C outside. Tells him to stay away from Sonny, and he gives C a little bit of a slap Like, just fucking
Yeah.
stay away from him.
Yeah, because C's like back chatting him. He's like, well, that's my money. Why'd you leave it? I worked for that. He's like, that's not money. He's like, but I worked for it. He's like, he's quite upset because he didn't really get roughed up a little, but he kind of did. He's quite upset about this situation. His son's hanging out with a gangster, so
Yeah.
unfortunately, it comes out on the kid. And then he kind of like talks to him. He's like, listen, you can't hang out with them. They're not good guys. It's like, I'm sorry I slapped you. Let's go inside.
Yeah. But before that,
Oh, sorry.
C calls him a working class sucker.
Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah.
But yeah, they do. Yeah, they go inside, and then the narrator like comes over again, and it's like, oh, my dad and Sonny, they didn't talk to each other again. Like after that, but I went and saw Sonny all the time over the next 8 years. They become besties.
Yeah, they're hanging out all the time. He didn't listen to his dad. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not even a little bit. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a time jump.
Yeah, and like it's basically the same thing. That's like the scenes that we've seen before where they're playing craps together and he's a little kid. Like the time jump, they're at the races and they're betting on horses and they're all like yelling at the horses, and then Mush comes into frame from behind and he's calling out the same name as like the horse that Sonny and C have betted on, and Sonny's like, this is fucked, dude. I'm ripping up my tickets. And he just like, he pieces out of that situation. It's like, it's ruined. Like this guy's a jinx.
Yeah, they just all walk out of there and C stays behind. He's like, come on, and then the horse falls behind at the very last second. He's like, oh, fucking hell, that fucking close, you know what I mean? And then, fucking what's his name, Mush is like, let me give you a tip for the next one. He's like, go fuck yourself.
Poor Mush.
Poor Mush. He should stop gambling.
Yeah, he should really just get out of it.
Yeah. So yeah, the kid's like kind of a bad kid now. Like he cuts class. He just hangs out with his boys.
Yeah. Because he doesn't necessarily want to do bad things, but he wants to hang out with his friends, and his friends want to do bad things. Like he just has like huge FOMO. Like he doesn't want to miss out on anything interesting that might happen that his friends get up to.
Yeah, so he's not necessarily a bad kid, but he does bad kid shit.
Yeah. He just hangs out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's hanging out with his friends. Actually, you take it from here.
Sure, I can take it from here. So we got Slick and Mario still, and then we got a couple of other friends, and Slick's real aggressive still and racist. And Mario, he's got like this I think they were talking about girls. They were like catcalling a couple girls that walked past, and Mario's like, I'm not interested in those girls. They wouldn't pass my test. And then he basically just describes sexual assault for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, Mario's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
We don't like Mario. Mario's a bad guy.
Mario is a bad dude.
Yeah. But yeah, like a little bit after this, we see that, things haven't really changed with these guys. It's just gotten a bit worse. Like they're more violent. They're still racist. Like some black people drive by, I think, and they're just dropping the N-word and saying some nasty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
Their
C's
behaviors.
not really down with it.
Sorry?
C's not really down with it.
He doesn't really. It's not his type of thing, but their behavior is still like infectious for them or for him to an extent. Like there's this guy that walks past called Louis, and he owes C $20, and he's like, "Oh, where's my fucking money, Louis? Like I want my money." And he's like, "It's been 2 weeks. Like he owes me money," and his friends are like, "Oh man, you just got to beat the shit out of that guy. Like you got to fucking teach him a lesson." And he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't crossed that line, because that's like his friend's behavior. But he's like, he's really flirting with the point of no return. Like, once you start doing it,
that option
it becomes normal
in your life.
Yeah.
That's like kind of becomes a part of who you are from that point on.
Yeah. And I think after this, Lorenzo pulls up and he's like, "Oi, get in the bus." He's like beeping at him from like a street over, because I guess he doesn't want to go into this area because that's where Sonny and all of his goons hang out as well. So he waits for C to sort of come over and get into the bus, and we get a glimpse into how the relationship between the two of them is sort of just faded over the 8 years. Like, there's some jazz playing on the radio in the bus, and something they used to listen to all the time. And C's like, "This shit is just loud and annoying. Do we have to listen to this right now?"
Yeah.
And Lorenzo starts like answering him and talking back to him, but then C gets a little bit distracted at this point. There's somebody on the bus.
He sees a pretty lady.
He does see a pretty lady.
They're giving each other the eyes. They keep looking at each other, staring at each other like the whole bus ride. And his dad's trying to talk to him. He's just like flat out ignoring his dad because he's too busy oogling this lady who's of the African American persuasion. But he's got a thing for her. It's like, she's tall, she's classy, she's beautiful. He actually really quite likes her. But because of like the neighborhood that he lives in and the people that he hangs around, he feels as though he could never take that step to talk to her.
Yeah, they know that, or he knows that they won't approve.
Yeah.
At all. And like in this scene, C looks so much like young De Niro.
He actually does. I
It's
did
crazy.
notice that. Like when they cast it really well. I was gonna check the cast and see if they were related. Because
no, I don't think they are.
No, yeah, because they look pretty similar.
Mm.
Cast was done pretty well.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, basically he just tells his dad he was only kidding.
Yeah.
About the music, because he's in a much better mood now that he's seen this beautiful woman.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm just busting your balls. Forget about it."
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah. I think C gets off the bus to go hang out with Sonny. And then I think he sees Louis again. And he's like chases him down again. He's like, "Fucking this Louis guy." And Sonny's like, Whoa. What's going on? It's like, "How much money does he owe you?" He's like, "Oh, it's $20. He's like, "Listen, man, violence isn't always the answer. And think of it this way. If he's not really your friend and he owes you $20, just think of it like you paid $20 for him to not be your friend anymore." Like,
yeah, just to get rid of him. Like, for him to just be out of your life. You don't have to fucking hang out with this guy anymore.
Yeah. And then Sonny starts to lean into like the mentorship part of the relationship here, where he's like, "I've got money, I could live wherever I want, but I live here because I want to be close to everything." Because like I think he talks about like when he was in jail, the thing he did was read. He read Machiavelli, and he learned about like availability and like in being around people, being available for people, but also like getting ahead of trouble. And it's also a way of keeping people in line and making sure that people fear him, because like he's sort of like, if he's available and he's looming over them, then people behave in a
they're
way.
not going to try and step on his toes and pull one over on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and C asked him the question of like, fucking, would you rather be loved or feared? And he's like, that's a good question, but I think I'd rather be feared because why? Why does he? Why? Why
I
again?
might have missed this, but he just has trust issues. Like he doesn't trust anybody, and he says that nobody cares. He
Yeah,
says this a lot in the movie. Like nobody really cares. Like at the end of the day,
yeah,
and for that reason, he prefers the fear route, and he just doesn't trust.
yeah, which is fair, given the type of life that he leads.
Yeah, and this conversation sort of happens as they're like walking down the street, and they're walking towards like a cafe, like a restaurant, that conversation sort of ends when they're in the restaurant, and like they're gonna get lunch,
Yeah,
and the chef starts, or like the waiter comes to the table and he starts talking to Sonny, about
kind
like
of
what
just
he's gonna have, and then
kind of just
something.
proving his point, right? That people just go the extra mile for you when they fear you.
Yeah, but something happens when the guy's waiting on Sonny. There's like a big noise.
Yeah, so you hear a bunch of like noisy motorcycles cut off the guy who's trying to tell Sonny what's on the menu. And then yeah, I think they pull up to the bar. I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly
they
what
all pull up
happens.
to the bar.
Yeah, I was writing notes, so I kind of missed a little bit of this. But yeah, they pull up to the bar. It's like, you guys aren't properly dressed, and then that's alright. We'll just grab a beer and leave. We just want to get a drink real quick and we'll take off. He's like, that's all. And the way he spoke very, politely. The main biker. So Sonny's like, okay, get him a drink, get him a couple cold beers, let them be on their way. They're not hurting anybody. And then, you know what happens? They start getting real rude, and they start spraying beers everywhere. And then Sonny, on his way out, comes back in. He goes, "That wasn't very nice. I think you need to leave." And then the head biker's like, "We'll fucking leave when we want to leave." And yeah, Sonny walks over. This is a cold ass scene, by the way. This is a great scene.
Yeah,
So
this
many
cool
great
scenes.
scenes in this movie, but this is a real cool scene.
Yeah,
But basically, Sonny walks over, locks the door, and now they can't leave because they didn't leave when they were asked to. And then the narration by C is like, you could see all the confidence and all the men in them just leave, and they were scared. You could see how scared they were. And then the fucking back door busts open and 10 Italian men come running through with baseball bats and just start beating the fucking shit out of these bikers. Just absolutely going to town. And they're just smashing bottles and fucking breaking heads and hitting them with bats. And they're like, after they're... And also, not Sonny, fucking C gets punched in the head by one of the bikers, I think. And he's like... He's not part of this life. I guess, is like kind of scared.
I think
he's
it's
taking
important
cover
at
on
this
the
point
ground.
he doesn't participate in the fight.
Yeah,
He's sitting down in the corner, and the fight is happening around him, and he just cops a straight one.
yeah,
But he never sort of takes that step into the game. Like,
yeah. He never gets involved.
yeah,
He's always on the sidelines, which makes sense for his character. And
yeah,
Sonny doesn't want him to get involved, but these things happen in front of him regardless. So it feels wrong to like say he's like cowering in the corner on the ground, but that's essentially what he's doing. If he's got his hands over his head, he's taking cover.
yeah. I mean, he's just a kid. He's still
Yeah,
in
he's
high
just a
school.
kid. Yeah. So yeah, and then they basically drag the bikers out of the bar, fucking just throw them onto their bikes. They continue to beat the shit out of them. Fucking yeah, just bashing them, hitting them silly.
Yeah, I think one of the guys almost like starts to get away or something, and then um, sees like Mob Squad, like his
Yeah,
friends, they get involved, like a little fucking pack of hyenas after the
yeah,
lions have a feast. They're like, yeah. They
yeah,
start
like
beating the shit out of this one guy.
get him. Yeah, they're like get him. And then they all just start kicking him. They're like, yeah, kick him. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And Sonny's
it's
pissed.
also,
He's like, fucking ruined my lunch, dude.
yeah, it's pretty brutal as well. I think Sonny fucking grabs a bat and just smacks one of the bikers straight on the head. He's already like passed out.
Yeah.
Oh, and he also picks up his head. He's like, look at me. I want you to remember my face.
Yeah, he's like, I did this to you.
Yeah. Which is like it's a pretty cold scene, especially after having that talk about fear and respect and how to manage it,
Yeah.
and having that balance.
And, sometimes that can sort of, that has like an effect on a lot of people, like not just the people you do it to as well. It has a effect on the surrounding people, like how he shot that guy in the street and how it affected like that guy's family as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah,
the
100%.
sort of like vibe in that neighborhood.
So yeah, I think we get a cut to after that where it's C and his dickhead mates are hanging in the alley with this new kid called Zero, and his mum calls him Zero because he'll never amount to anything. Dude, I just cannot stop burping.
That's not a surprise to me.
Yeah. His mum calls him Zero because he'll never amount to anything, and he stole a bunch of like handguns and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the boys are looking at him, gonna buy him. They're like, look at this one, look at this one, look at that one, and then Sonny pulls up. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And he fucking grabs Zero, he smacks him. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here! You're gonna get us all pinched. You fucking
He slaps
idiot.
the shit out of everybody in this scene.
Yeah.
He so much slapping.
So much slapping. He likes to slap people. It's just such an effective way to make people listen to you.
Yeah.
Scared of you, I guess. Just smack him around. He's got big hands too. The smack with him would hurt.
There's just something different about a slap to the face as well. Like, it's not as brutal as like punching someone in the face and almost like killing them, right? It's only intended to like hurt you a little bit, but to really just show you like I disapprove of what you just did.
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt and it's gonna fucking embarrass the shit out of you.
Yeah, you just got slapped.
Yeah.
You ever been slapped before?
Yeah, probably.
Like a proper slap? Like just not like a... It's embarrassing. It genuinely is embarrassing. Like that's a fight or flight moment where like, do I escalate this situation or do I just like not retaliate? You get slapped. Do you fucking slap someone back and just escalate it? Sorry, that's a bit of a sidetrack. But like, yeah. We can cut that part out.
No, it's fine. Let's do a little insider info. It's 2 a.m. right now.
It's 2 a.m.
We've had a long day.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, the movie was long and we had some prior commitments before this, so it's a bit of a late one, so we're going to be a bit loopy.
Yeah. So let's get
burpy.
back on track. And burpy. A little bit loopy, a little bit burpy. Had a beer with dinner.
Yeah.
And Pepsi Max.
But Sonny pulls C aside, like from his friends. He's like, get the fuck out of here, but then grabs C and he's like, I don't like your friends, dude. Your friends suck. And like these guys, like it's too late for them. Like they're gonna I don't know if this is when he says this line, or maybe he says it later, but he's like, they're either gonna end up like half of them are they going to end up in jail or are they going to end up dead? I think he says it later.
I think he definitely says it later. I know when he says it, but
yeah,
essentially,
but basically
it still hits the same.
Yeah, he just warns C like, don't get in the game. Like this isn't for him.
Yeah,
he doesn't want this for C.
Yeah, and your friends are idiots, so stay away from them.
Yeah, and then he's
don't
like,
do what they do.
You want to come to a boxing match tomorrow?
I think he's like, yeah, I'm going with my dad, sorry.
Yeah. He's like, it's alright, you just stop by, you say hi.
So yeah. They go to the fight. He goes to the fight with his dad.
Yeah.
And then they sit down. They got their seats, and you see Sonny. He's ringside. And the son's giving his dad guff about the seats. He's like, "This is the best I could do." He's like, "I'm just busting your balls." He likes to bust his dad's balls
Yeah.
about how poor he is. uh, but yeah. And there's one of fucking Sonny's goons comes over. It's like, "Sonny wants you to come sit with us." And the dad's like, "No, we're alright." And then, C follows suit, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we'll stay here. I'm here with my dad, or we'll just chill." So tell him thank you though. And he's like, "Alright, if you want to come down, you can come down anytime. Doesn't matter." And then after the guy leaves, the kid's like, "Dad, those are good seats. Maybe we should go sit with them." He's like, "I don't want to sit there. I paid for my seats. I want to sit here. I work hard. Fucking, I don't want that guy's seats." He's like, "I came here to spend time with you, and you want to go hang out with him?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, but I hate you, Dad." And yeah. So it's just a kind of like a further breakdown of the kid and the dad's relationship.
Yeah.
Even when they make time for each other, they're still kind of at odds.
Yeah.
And
and Lorenzo takes it personal as well.
Yeah,
like
as you probably would.
he sort of reads a little bit more into it than is there.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand where he's coming from. Like, he doesn't want to feel like his son's obliged to be there with him, but I think he could have gone about it a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I think they just watch the fight, and that's it. You don't really see it.
That's about it.
You gotta jump to school.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out with his dickhead mates again. But who does he see?
It's the girl.
Lady in red. I don't know. He sees the girl again. Well, I'll just call her Jane. You find out her name is Jane later. But her name's Jane. He sees Jane. He's hanging out with his dickhead mates. They're smoking cigarettes by the stairs.
And they're talking about how, like, they're gonna do violent crimes together. And like, one of his friends brings up, like, "Oh, this guy owes me $10. Like, blah blah blah." And C tries to pass on the knowledge of, like, "Oh, well, just think of it as like you paid $10 to get rid of him." He's like, "Yeah, but I still want to beat the shit out of him."
Yeah.
Okay, so you just
doesn't
for an
get
excuse.
it. Yeah. He's just looking for an excuse to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Just wants to prove himself.
Yeah, but then C and Jane, they're in their staring competition for a little while, and C's winning, and eventually his mates, they sort of just leave, and C stays around at the school, and he sees Jane is alone at the front of the school as well. So he's like, "This is my chance. Like, this is the only time we're gonna be alone together." So he goes down and introduces himself, and they get to chatting, and he's like, "Oh, can I bloody walk you home?"
Yeah,
She's
it's
like,
cute.
"Yeah, all right. I live this way. Is that going to be a problem?" And he's like, "No."
That pause, I thought something happened to you.
Yeah, I heard you're worried. Hello?
No.
But they have like a nice chat.
Yeah, it's nice and cute. And
Walking home.
They make plans to go to the movies.
Yeah, they're gonna go to the movies. They're being cute fucking teenagers, and Jane's like, "Oh, why do you wear your hat like that?" And she sort of like flips it up a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, that's better." And then they like have a moment where they're like, "You have beautiful eyes."
You too.
Yeah, they're really into each other. But it reaches a point where, he's walking her home, and it's a little bit too far.
He can't go into her neighborhood.
Yeah.
For reasons stated prior.
Yeah.
Racial tensions.
Yeah. He's like, "All right, well, I'll say goodbye here, and I'll pick you up tomorrow for bloody movie time." And he starts walking away, and one of the guys in the neighborhood like spots him, starts walking towards him, and then absolutely hurls
Yeah.
an empty bottle at him. It was so far away. It had to be like 30 or 50 meters or something like that.
Yeah, he was pretty far. He
Yeah.
fucking launched that thing. That guy's got a cannon. And
Yeah.
I don't know if he was trying to hit him or if he was aiming for just around him, but he was pretty precise. Like he like it smashed right at his feet, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's got a bloody cannon. He's got to play baseball.
Yeah. He should join a team
Instead
instead of being mean to Italians. But I get it. It's fair.
Yeah.
The Italians were mean to him. Yeah. So he's C gets on the jog, and then you kind of cut to C hanging out with his dickhead mates again, talking shit.
Yeah. They're like sitting. If you've seen The Sopranos, you know how they just like sit outside this sandwich bar or whatever. Like they're just doing that. Like they're just sitting outside. Yeah, like outside a deli sort of thing. Just like watching people go past and shoot the shit, and they're playing some sort of like numbers game. I think they're like doing like a little bit of gambling or something like that. But yeah, you take it from here.
So, there's a couple of guys run by on bikes, and they're not in the right neighborhood. They're black guys run through an Italian neighborhood, and is it Slick? Slick doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill these guys. So he gets up with all these dickhead friends, and they start just. I think Slick is the first one to get up, and he just socks this guy in the face as he's riding by.
Yeah.
And he fucking falls off the bike, and then they all get up. He's like, come on. They all kind of get up and start chasing after the guys who already rode past, and the guys coming and just start beating them up. For no reason other than they're black and they're in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, see, get in here.
Yeah, C's not really with it, but he's like, I don't know what to do. So he doesn't exactly join in. He's just like, goes over to where he was cold. He's like, yeah, get this guy. And he's just like, holding the guy down. He's like, just stop moving around. I don't want to hurt you. I don't really want to do this. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Basically, just like a jumper punch, like, but without the punch, just holding his jumper, like, not doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So violence ensues. Slick goons are just beating up all these black people, and then freaking someone's like, the cops are coming. You guys should go. And then they all start to skedaddle except for Slick. Slick actually wants to kill this kid laying on the ground. Slick, fucking C is pushing him back. He's like, come on, let's go. The cops are coming. He's like, I don't care. I want to kill this guy. And he's like, come on, fucking, let's just go. And then they skedaddle.
Yeah, a bit of a scuffle there, but afterwards, C's hanging out with Sonny, and C's like, oh, what do you think about race? And he starts explaining, like, I kind of like this girl, but she's black, so, and my friends won't approve. And he's like, nah, that shit doesn't matter. Like, race shouldn't matter. All that matters is love. Like, when you're in the sheets with this girl, you're not going to be thinking about your mates. Like, you're going to be having a fucking great time. Like, you only get a few of these things in life. Yeah,
Yeah, they get 3 great ones, he says. And he also, this is where he says, your friends are either going to be dead or in jail.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's like, you only get 3 great ones. I went through all of mine at 16, You only get so many of these moments, so be careful.
Yeah. And he's like, is she a good girl? Like, is she a nice person? And he's like, I don't know, I just met her. And then he's like, oh, you know, you got to put her through the test. And C's like, oh, you mean like Mario's test? And Sonny's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, not Mario's
That
test.
guy's
Mario's a fucking
crazy.
lunatic.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to put it through like the door test. Basically, the idea of the door test is like you pull up, you get out of the car and you lock the doors. You go and get her, you bring her back to the car, you unlock the door for her, and then open the door and close it for her. And then, like, while you're walking around the car to get to your side, you have a quick little look inside the car, and you see if she is leaning over to, like, pull up the lock in the car for you to sort of, like, you know, be courteous to you as well. And if she doesn't do that, you dump her.
Yeah,
That's the door test.
She's a selfish broad. It's the tip of the iceberg. If she doesn't do that, you just dump her straight up. She's not the one.
And this is like, you know, the thing I was saying before, like, you know, these are people that do bad things, but they don't necessarily have the worst morals.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a racist. You know, he actually does care about love as much as he uses fear in his life. And yeah, like, you know, he values like respect and courtesy and you know, not being selfish, like being selfless with people. And then C goes to his actual dad. He goes to Lorenzo and asks him like the same question. And this is when you find out, you know, he does good things. He's not necessarily a bad guy, but he is prejudiced. Like, he doesn't feel like white people and black people should be in a relationship together. He's got no problem with black people, and he's like courteous and respectful to people they get on the bus, but he doesn't think that other people, like people of other races, should date each other. So it's sort of like a little bit of like a converse thing there. Like, you lose a little bit of respect for Lorenzo here. Like, just because he doesn't do bad things to earn money doesn't necessarily mean that he has the best morals.
Yeah, he's not perfect. He's definitely got his own flaws, just like the other characters in this movie. So yeah, Sonny lends fucking C his car. I've gotten the names mixed up so many times. Sonny lends C his car so he can go on the date because he wants him to make a good impression. So he goes to pick her up, and she does not look happy. She's walking over to him, and she's just like, "My brother got beat up in your neighborhood." He's like, "What?" He kind of plays dumb. He's like, "What? Really?" She's like, "Do you know who did it? Were you there?" And he's like, no, I didn't do nothing. I don't know. And she's like, really? Because my brother says you were there and you're the one who beat him up. And she calls her brother over. He's like, yeah, that's him. That's the dude. He beat me up. He's like, no, I was the only one trying to help you, man. And he's like, no, you were beating me up. I saw you. I saw you. You beat me up. And then, the things get heated. And they're like, kind of like, fuck you, and then they go to walk off, and then C calls her brother the N-word, which is not cool.
No, not cool.
Not cool. But yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Yeah.
That's the end of that. There's no date. It's ruined because of his dickhead mates. So yeah, he hops back in the whip. He's on his way home. He drops the car off to Sonny. Sonny's like, come hang out with us. It's like, really, I don't want to. I just want to go. I gotta go, please. Let me go. He's like, no, come on. He's like, what's wrong? It's like everything. Fucking the date went horribly. It all went wrong. Everything went wrong. I just want to go. So let me go. So he does. He just lets him go. So he goes home. He comes in. He slams his door. His dad is right on his ass. He's like, what were you doing with Sonny's car? He's like, what? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I just fucking saw you from the window in Sonny's car driving.
What?
What? This kid's a bad liar. He always gets caught. Fucking, what happens?
Lorenzo goes to give the wasting talent speech again.
Ah, yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't really want to hear this right now. He's like, I don't care if you want to hear it. I'm gonna tell you again, because you don't seem to really get it.
Yeah, Lorenzo doesn't listen, and he doesn't try to understand. He just sees the situation, and then he tries to enforce his like rules and opinion onto the situation. Like he doesn't really try to understand before he starts just saying shit.
Yeah. And then, yeah, fucking, what happens? He ends up disrespecting his grandparents, because it's like,
Yeah.
he's like, it's something about money. Lorenzo's like, my parents came over here with nothing. And he's like, and we still, fuck, you take it. Cut all that. You got this.
You can just say that, like, you don't have to get into the specifics. You can just say,
yes, basically,
like, they argue, and
He
C says
disrespects
some
his
stuff
grandparents.
that, yeah.
And then he says again that the working man is a sucker. Boom. In your face, Dad.
Storms out.
So,
like, he's trying to get away from people. He's like, he's having a bad time. He's like, I just want to be alone. He goes home, and Lorenzo is just hounding him. And he's like, fucking hell. He storms out of there. He's like, I just want to be alone. He goes outside. And Sonny fucking pulls up in the car, gets out of the car with his goons, and grabs C, just slapping the shit out of him. He's like, what do you know about the device that was in my car?
With no context, he genuinely seems insane. Like, what do you know about the thing on my device?
He's like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I think it was like a bomb or something on the engine. Like, you're supposed to turn the engine over and the car would explode.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, the car didn't turn over. He went to check the engine. There was something on it. You know anything about this? He's like, no, I genuinely don't know anything. He's trying to bust his balls. He's like, I really don't know anything. Why would I try and do that to you? You've been like a father to me.
Yeah. And he kind of just storms off after that.
Yeah, no. His dad comes. He's like, what are you doing?
No, he storms off.
Oh, he storms off?
Yeah, and then Lorenzo comes down after him because of all the commotion. He's like, oh, what's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. Just tries to insert himself into the situation again. And then he fucking... he gets like he gets gooned, really.
He gets gooned. He starts gooning with the boys.
Yeah, like he goes to get rough and get in Sonny's face, and Sonny's goons are like, and they give him the old gut punch, and Sonny's just like, fucking listen for once before you just start fucking saying shit.
Yeah. So Sonny's walked away. Not Sonny. Fuck. C's walked away, and then surprise, surprise. Who is it? His dickhead friends.
Goon Squad.
So they're like, come here. Come over here.
We're gonna go finish the job.
Yeah. It's like, whose car is this? He's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Basically, they're like retaliating because after they beat up those kids, they came back and like egged their hangout spot. And they're like, shouldn't have egged our hangout spot. We're going to kill them now.
Which, it's such a crazy escalation, but also their retaliation to getting bashed is to just egg them. Which seems like a bit of like a...
They're just kids, though.
They are just kids, yeah.
Yeah, and then their retaliation to egging is Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, they're like, let's go fucking kill these black people because we're racist.
That's a crazy sentence.
Yeah. Sorry, no one take that out of context.
I'm clipping that.
So yeah, he's in the car. He's like, I want to leave, but how could I leave? Because these guys are going to call me a little bitch. They're going to think I'm a pussy. I'm going to be called a coward. I can't really do this, but I don't want to do this. He's got the voices of his dad telling him what to do. He's got the voices of Sonny telling him to do the right thing. And then, just as he thinks there's no hope for him, he's kind of fucked here. He the car gets pulled over by Sonny. They like pull up. They're like, "See, get out of the car. Come on, get out of the car." And he's like, "Oh, all right." And there's like, who was it? It's like Slick is like starts talking back to Sonny. He's like, "Let him be," and then he fucking grabs Slick's head and slams it into the dashboard.
Yeah.
It's just pretty satisfying, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, they head home after that.
Yeah, and I think Sonny's like calling him fucking calls him an idiot or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's right. Because the dad and him are talking about. He's like, this Sonny guy. He doesn't trust anybody. You're not really. What makes you think you're special? When he was having a conniption in his room.
Yeah. Only for him to immediately walk outside and get accused of like attempting to fucking blow up his car or whatever.
Yeah.
So like when they're on the way home together, C goes to Sonny and he's like, "So do you just trust anyone? Like what's your deal?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Nah, dude, I trust no one."
Yeah.
He's like, "Not me, man. I trust people."
Yeah, he's like, "That's a sad way to live your life. I don't want to live a life like that. That could never be me." So they pull up somewhere.
Yeah, they arrive back at like the bar area or like where the egging happened or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of Sonny's goons was like, "Hey, there was like a cute black girl that came here before looking for C." And C goes to Sonny. He's like, "Bro, what did I tell you?" And he like sort of like storms off and goes after Jane.
Yeah, he catches up with Jane.
Oh, I should mention, because like Sonny was so paranoid that he thought Jane didn't even exist. Like he thought it was like a ploy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, "I told you."
Yeah.
Yeah, so he goes to catch up to Jane, and Jane says that her brother finally told the truth. He's like, "Yeah, it wasn't you. He did try to help him. He was just mad in the moment and just took it out on you." So yeah, they kind of make up, and then they share a kiss. And it's a cute moment. And then fucking C's like, "Oh shit, your brother. Fucking, we gotta go." So yeah, they hop. He's like, "Quick, just get in the car." And he opens the door for her, and then he goes to go to the other side, and she unlocks the car for him. And he's like, "Yeah, I knew you were one of the great ones."
Yeah, he legit yells out. He's like, "Yeah, yes."
Which kind of, in the wrong context, could probably be taken the wrong way, because like, you ever heard someone call a black person like one of the good ones? Like, I thought of that when he said you're one of the great ones. If I was her, that could have been.
No, I didn't even think of that.
I thought of that one because you ever heard that? When people just say, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're one of the good ones."
People say that all the time.
Yeah.
About just race. That's like casual racism.
Yeah, they're like super prejudiced against a certain group, but they're like, but you're an exception.
Yeah.
You don't do that stuff, but all the others they do. So, anyways, they get in the car. They're on their way, but the boys get there obviously before them, and they start hassling these guys. I guess that's not a good way to put it, but they start throwing shit through the windows and fucking throwing like whatever's there, just smashing the place up. And then they throw the Molotov cocktails in there and start to light the place up. And they're like, "Alright, fucking let's dip." And then, I don't know how it happened, but one of the Molotov cocktails in the car lit on fire.
No. So they throw like 3 or 4 Molotov cocktails into this like store front area or whatever. And the last one they throw in there, they don't really throw it in there. Like one of the guys, he kind of like bitches out, and instead of throwing it, he kind of just like scoots it along the ground. So when it goes into the store, it like hits the back wall and it doesn't break. And one of the guys that's in the store like grabs it, runs out of the store, and then throws the Molotov cocktail back at the car. It goes through the window, and they had like other bottles in the car. Like they didn't throw everything that they had, so everything that they had in the car caught on fire.
Mm. And then the car catches on fire and fucking explodes. The car just fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's different to what I thought happened. I missed that part because I was probably looking at my fucking notepad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I thought they just blew themselves up because they're fucking stupid. But anyways, Jane and C arrive. They go to the scene. They see that, I don't think any people in the store died. Just the guys in the car. And yeah, obviously the community, the neighborhood is pretty upset because this is just a race attack in their own neighborhood. So they're like, these fucking white guys, they're toast now. That they look better like that. And then yeah, they're obviously pretty upset. They see Jane's brother, he's okay. And then C sees his friends are dead. They're all just lying on the ground and he doesn't really know how to feel in that moment. He's
the voiceover's like, I'm not sure if I should be happy or sad.
Is it happy because he was alive?
Yeah, happy
he could
because
have been
I'm
in that car.
alive, or sad because my friends are dead.
Yeah, so he's like, oh man, I'm just grateful. And he's like, fuck, I gotta go see Sonny. This guy just saved my life. Essentially, by pulling me out of that car, he just saved my life, so I gotta go tell him. And he's gotta go tell him about Jane, and how she's a great one. So he fucking runs to the bar. He just fucking legs it there. And he finally gets there. He's real crowded in there. He's wading through the crowd. You can just see Sonny smiling at him. He's waving him over. And then he sees this guy in the corner of the bar walking towards Sonny, making eye contact with him, making eye contact with C. And he's walking over. And before he can say anything, it's a little bit too late. He yells out, "No!" And then the guy puts a bullet in Sonny's head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. Just a fucking crazy scene. Like
the room is packed with people.
Yeah.
They're all like celebrating something, or maybe it's just what the bar is like at night. But yeah, this guy that comes over and he just puts a gun to the back of Sonny's head. He's the son of the murder victim from like the start of the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets his payback, and the Sonny Goon squad, they start like beating the shit out of him and everything. But
it's a bit too
gunshot to the head. Like you can call an ambulance, but it's like 99%. Like almost no one survives that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So flash forward.
Yeah.
Sonny's funeral.
Yep.
And it's a weird vibe that C's picking up on. He's like, I guess Sonny was right.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, he's really cynical, like at the start of the funeral, because he looks around at everyone and they're kind of just chatting away. Like he feels like people should be more upset than they are.
They think sending the biggest arrangement of flowers is showing that you care, but
yeah,
in reality, it doesn't seem like anyone really gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So C's like waiting around.
Yeah, he stays late. He's like the last one left.
Yeah. The guy, I think the owner's like, we're about to close up. I think you're gonna have to leave, man. He's like, just give me a few more minutes. And he's like, alright, I'll be in the office. And then he goes up to say his final goodbyes. He's saying like,
you think, I think I like this moment because you think he's gonna say, thanks for saving my life, but the first thing he says is the Jane thing, like how Jane passed the test, and that he was more excited to tell him that he passed the test because they're friends than thank you for saving my life because like you're a mentor, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice scene, and then someone walks into the room. We haven't met this character yet.
It's bloody Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. He walks up. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought I was alone." He's like, "No, it's understandable. It's all good." He's like, "You remember me?" He's like, "No, wait, no." He's just like, Was it? I don't know. I'm so tired.
He's like, "Oh, you're Lorenzo, the bus driver's kid, right? You're C." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Ah, yeah. I don't know if you remember me, but my name's Carmine." He's like, We met like a long time ago." And then C's like, "Are you the guy that got hit in the head with like the baseball bat, like from the scuffle at the start of the movie?"
He's like, yeah, that's
He's
me.
like, "That's me.
That's
I'm
me,
Joe
dude.
Pesci."
I'm Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, Sonny saved my life too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they get to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Saved my
yeah.
life too.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, if you ever need anything, come see me at the bar. I'll be taking care of things from here on out.
Yeah.
And then
It's
he's like, C's asking him, it's like, can I ask you something? This is something we forgot to mention at the start of the movie. C thought that the scuffle was over a parking space.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asks Sonny when he first starts talking to him in the bar, was it over a parking space? And Sonny I literally could not understand what Sonny said at this moment.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we were watching on Amazon Prime or whatever it was.
Subtitles are just flat out wrong.
The subtitles were dog shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was wrong most of the time.
Yeah. So yeah. He's like, was that over a parking space? He was like, no. I don't even remember. I don't think he said what it was over. He was like, no, it was never a parking space. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, like, that underworld side of things, like, you never really get that much of a glimpse into it, and why people were upset at each other for specific reasons. And yeah, there's no reason for Carmine to get into details at this point with C, because it's not what Sonny would have done. And then Carmine's like, "All right, cool. Nice to meet you. I'm out of here."
Come
and
see
then
me if you ever need
who
anything.
else? Who else comes over?
The dad, Lorenzo. He walks up. He comes to pay his respects. He's like, I never hated you. I just was mad at you because you made my kid grow up so fast.
Yeah.
I think does he thank him for saving his son's life? I don't think so.
Yeah.
He does.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, he does.
And
then,
he, and then I think after that he sort of leaves C for a moment to finish his goodbyes, and
yeah.
And then C's like, "Sonny, did you hear that? That's fucking crazy, dude. That's
he never
awesome."
hated you. He never hated you. He just was mad at you.
Yeah. And Lorenzo, from this point starts referring to C as C instead of Caligero.
Yeah. Yeah. So C, he says his final goodbyes.
Yeah.
Kind of does the thing where he kisses his hand, touches his forehead, and he walks out. And yeah, he's like, he understands now. He understands what his father and Sonny were talking about. He understands the compassion and all these other things.
I think he explains that, like, he feels like he is grown up now, that he feels like he can understand everything that everyone kept telling him all of his life, like, when you're grown up you'll understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
The two major themes now, like not understanding and wasted talent, and just to cap it off, he just mentions, wasted talent. Sonny was wasted talent. I think was his thing. I think was his point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He goes, hey, but that's just another Bronx Tale.
Just another Bronx Tale.
And that was A Bronx Tale. You gotta watch this movie. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, if you for some reason didn't listen to us and you listened to the podcast and didn't watch the movie,
yeah,
You're a
we
bit
didn't.
crazy, but you
You're a
should
bit
just go watch the
crazy.
movie.
You should have watched the movie first because you know what's going to happen now. But we didn't do this movie justice. It's so much better than we can explain. You just have to watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Alex,
Yes.
I want to know, what was your favorite part of the movie?
It's so hard to narrow down. You go first because I got to think a little bit.
Okay, my favorite part in the movie was when Sonny goes over to the door and he locks the door and he turns around, he looks at the bikers and he's like, now you can't leave.
Yeah. Nah,
Like
that part was awesome.
Like, he gave him so many opportunities to be respectful. And he's like, nah, you can't leave now, bro. Like,
yeah, you're done. There's just so many. There's so many good scenes. It's hard to pick. Sonny was just portrayed so well in this movie. I think
yeah.
pretty much any scene with Sonny in it is probably my favorite scene. He was great.
Yeah.
He was great. It's so hard to pick just one. But that is a really, really good one. I feel like I had another one in my mind, but it's escaping me.
Well, let me tell you about my least favorite part.
Okay, you tell me your least favorite part.
It was probably the dialogue between him and the father at the church when he's doing the confession thing, or all of the cheesy Goodfellas stuff at the start. Like, for me, I could see that maybe it was like paying homage to it, but it was like a little bit on the nose, and it got really old really quickly for me. It got really repetitive. Like, it was a little bit more comical than like the Goodfellas approach. Like,
yeah, that part probably not done as well as Goodfellas. Like, when I feel like Goodfellas didn't throw as many characters at you.
Yeah.
And each character had a lot more depth, I guess, than a lot of these characters had.
Yeah, it was like if all of the characters were Jimmy two times, because Jimmy says things two times in Goodfellas. It was just a little bit silly.
Yeah.
But I could see how, like, you know, from a naive point of view, because it's a kid introducing it, right? And he's not in that sort of underworld. Like, he doesn't know them as people. He only knows them by name. How, like, I could sort of excuse it there. It's not terrible. Like, I didn't hate it. I just thought it was a little bit cheesy. And for like something that's a little bit cheesy to be my least favorite part of the movie is, I reckon, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I guess if I had to say a least favorite scene, I don't even know. It's,
You gotta get us out of here. It's almost 3 a.m.
Okay, just give me a sec. I had something, but I don't have it anymore. Name some other good scenes while I look at my notes and try and find the scene I was talking about.
Let me read through my bloody notes. I really liked the, like, Jane leaning over to unlock the car scene, like passing the test. I thought that was nice.
I'm gonna have to say my favorite scene. It's probably gonna have to be the same one as you. I really like that scene. I was trying to think of something different, but that scene really stood out to me. That was really cool. Or the one at the start where the guys are just fucking leapfrogging into a big stack. That was goofy. It made me laugh.
So goofy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd have to say that's probably my favorite scene. And
and least favorite?
Least favorite? I don't even know. I want to say the part with the dice. Before he throws the dice, it takes a while for him to throw the dice. And I get it was funny. Like, it was genuinely funny, but I was like, come on. This is... There's a lot of, like, I guess, dead air there between... You need to fucking...
Feels like it takes ages, and it builds a lot of suspense for something. Like, he's trying to roll like a 4 or whatever, and it feels like it does take a long time. And all of us know he's gonna roll a 4. All of us know, like, he's not gonna not roll a 4. And
I guess that would probably have to be my least favorite because a lot of build up for not a lot of payoff. Even though it's still a good scene, I still liked the scene. I guess that would just be one of my least favorite parts. And I want to say, just a contender, like a runner up for favorite scene, something that did feel like build a lot of suspense, I think, really well, is when C's running home before Sonny gets shot, because you just have this feeling of dread and something bad is about to happen, but you're like, what's even going to happen? Why do I feel like something terrible is about to happen? And then
why is this Sonny getting so much screen time?
Yeah, you're like, oh, fuck, yeah, okay. Sonny's about to get shot in the head.
I thought something bad was going to happen to Jojo. Like how annoyed Sonny was getting at him being close to him and breathing on him.
At the dice
I thought it was going to escalate like in Goodfellas, between Joe Pesci's character and like the kid that gives him like a little bit of attitude.
Yeah.
And like he shoots him in the foot or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember. Maybe he just fucking shoots him and kills him or something. It's been a little while.
He's like, why don't you go fuck yourself? What's his character's name? Tony. Paulie. Not Paulie. Paulie's the big fat guy. Yeah. Frankie.
I'm not sure. But it's that,
Anyways.
I thought it was going to be like a similar sort of scene to that, but it was just putting Jojo in the bathroom.
Yeah. Honestly, that was really funny. That there was just stacking grown men in the bathroom because he didn't...
Yeah.
He was superstitious. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. So, if you got 2 hours to spare and you're feeling like you want to watch a mobster movie, but you've seen them all, I recommend giving this one a try.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Not that just then. The thing... Did you hear the fart?
No.
I just did the loudest, longest fart ever.
Well, I guess I'll hear it in the audio.
Sorry. You can cut this out. Sorry to cut you off.
I'll boost the gain, I guess.
I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it, but yeah. Yeah. You were saying?
Yeah, if you want to watch like a mobster movie that's not really a mobster movie at the same time, like it's mobster adjacent. I think that's what's interesting about it. Like the mobster part isn't the main part. It's just that it has influence over the movie, and really it's just all about C and his like sort of coming of age, and how there's 2 paths that he's could go on. And he's really close to going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. So this movie's when you think about it, it's more of a coming of age movie in a mobster setting.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. It's just if you're going into it like that, then that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. Get a couple bloody cigars, mate.
Yeah.
Get some bloody dice. Roll some bloody dice. Drink every time. I don't know.
Every time,
do whatever you want. It's a good movie.
Every time you see an Italian man drink.
Okay. Just constantly drinking.
You may as well just have like a fucking a IV in your arm while you're watching this movie. But it has to be like red wine or something, like Italian red wine. Yeah. That one. Yeah, I recommend this movie. This is a good movie. Watch this movie. You like mob movies? You like mafia movies? Watch this movie. I love mafia movies. That's the thing. I love Goodfellas. I love The Departed. I really like The Irishman. I've only seen it once, so that's why I say I really like it. I loved it when I watched it, but I gotta watch it again. And I fucking loved this movie too. I give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
I give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed it. I am also a sucker for a mobster movie.
Maybe I should change my answer.
And you can't change it, man. You've already done it.
Yeah, but now that I think about it a bit more, I just went off the gut. Alright.
No. It's locked in now.
Alright, 8.5.
You can't hedge your bets just because you heard mine was like a step lower.
No.
No,
But then when I think about
it's
it,
unbiased.
I
wrote mine down.
I didn't. I just fucking winged it just then.
Yeah, I wrote it down like ages ago.
Oh,
I don't want to influence your opinion.
alright, well, I guess I have to stick with a 9.
And you are.
Okay. That's fine with me. I really like this movie. But I was just thinking about when I compare it to other movies, is it on par with them? Is it as good? I really liked it, so yeah, why not? I think I just need some more time to sit, and I'll probably be happy with that answer anyway. That's just what my gut instinct was.
So, it's been a long one. And it was a good movie.
It was. But what are we watching next week?
Well, that's where I'm getting to. Like, we can't just keep watching good movies. Right?
That's so true.
So, next week,
oh, no.
we are watching Daddy's Home.
That's the... Oh, wait. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've told my girlfriend so many times I'm not watching this movie. She's like, watch Daddy's Home. I'm like, I don't want to watch Daddy's Home.
Well, guess what?
I guess we're watching it.
We're watching Daddy's Home.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just going to be known for picking shit movies.
Alrighty. That sounds good. Let's do it. How long is it?
It's an hour and 1 hour 37 minutes, I think.
At 1:36.
Oh, yeah, alright. Fuck off.
It's made $242 million at the box office.
Hell yeah. Well, alrighty. Thank you so much for listening. Why? Why would you do that? Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening.
Sorry. Yeah, run it back.
Alrighty, thank you so much for listening to Who Watches Us, the movie podcast where we watch the movies, but who watches us? Who bloody watches us? Leave us a comment on what you thought about this movie. That's something that I feel like has been missing from these podcasts, is that we've got no call to actions. I want to hear what you think about the movie.
That's true.
What's your rating of the movie if you've watched it? If you're just a psycho that doesn't watch movies, you just listen to people review movies and never watch the movies, then I don't know. You got to rate something. You got to tell me, just pick something in your life that you really love, or fucking hell. Let's go. If you haven't seen this movie, let me know if you think... What's your rating of cookies and cream ice cream?
Oh, can I give you my rating?
Yeah?
10 out of 10. Fucking best ice cream flavor. Straight up.
6 out of 10.
That's fucking criminal, but... Let us know what you think of cookies and cream.
6 out of 10. Fuck you if you like cookies and cream. I think it's overrated, this shit. It still tastes nice.
So yummy.
Yeah, fuck you.
Tell us what you thought of this movie, and if you made it this far, tell us what you thought of cookies and cream ice cream.
Yep.
We're pretty,
Like
once
and
we have a pretty
subscribe.
like and subscribe. For once we get a pretty big split in our rating of something.
Yeah. Do you like cookies and cream ice cream more than you like the Meg?
Yes, by far. Not even close. I would take cookies and cream ice cream 10 times out of 10.
Alrighty,
I would watch the Meg
it's late.
again.
No, you gotta shut up.
I would
It's
watch the
over.
Meg again if the Meg was made out of cookies and cream ice cream.
Yeah, I'm not listening to you anymore. It's too late. We
What's
gotta
the
get out
best
of
thing
here. It's
about
3
cookies and
a.m.
cream
It's
ice
time for
cream?
bed.
The one with the cookie
I'm
dough,
ignoring you.
Like the Ben and Jerry's one with the cookie dough in it.
Thank you so
That's
much.
so good.
Bye bye.
Yum. Did you hear that?